Hello, everybody, and welcome to Speed Gaming 4 for the final match of the evening in the 22 All Boards, No Swords Zelda 1 Randomizer Tournament. We have a great matchup scheduled for you tonight between CaffyJD and eatmysteel. I am barbecue.gov. Welcome. We're looking forward to a great race tonight. I'm joined in the booth by someone who just got done with his own race earlier this evening, Vincent246. Vincent, how are you feeling?
I'm better compared to earlier.
I can completely understand that, and congrats on the win this evening. So you just ran this, and now you're commentating. What are you looking forward to in a match here between two experienced and talented runners?
Well, after just watching a little bit of another seed, I want this one to be a bit more tame than the other race that's going on in a different channel here, as we are off already in the forest area.
And we believe Caffey is going to be on a slight delay here, at least for a little bit, while we get started, as EMS heads up to an open cave, and off we go.
Yep.
Looks like he's making a beeline for the 3 Armos checks in the northeast, which makes sense given his starting position.
Alright. And first Armos is just a staircase here. And just
We'll hold here while the runners get synced up.
yep.
Caffey making the exact same pathing as you would expect given where he starts on the map. There's not a lot else you can check other than going west, maybe to vanilla start, but doing this check here and then hitting the Armos makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And let's see what we got going on. Looks like he is heading to the forest first.
Oh, he may want. I see what he may want to do. If he goes down from here, he may check the coast first and then go back up and just hit the Armos in reverse order from what EMS is doing.
Yeah, my only thing is I like to start from the top down just because of the fact that I can potentially get my if I get the Armos
Oh, that's just gross. Well, we're off to a rip-roaring start here with a $1 small secret and the coast start on the coast.
And also our white sword item for today is the red candle.
Yep, for those of you not familiar with how this tournament format is set up, there is no sword. So the white sword item has been replaced in the shuffle, as Vincent said, with the red candle. All the other items that are not swords are scattered throughout the dungeons, and it's the runner's job to find the item they need to take down Ganon, which in this case will be the wand. It will be the only item that can do damage on Ganon initially, and then, of course, the bow and the silver arrows.
Looks like we're having a syncing issue because we're kind of behind on now eatmysteel side.
Yep, yeah, folks have been having some technical difficulties due to weather and other concerns this evening, so we'll get this all straightened out on the back end, and we should be synced up here relatively quickly, as Caffey's also going to squeeze in, while he's here, a check of vanilla 2.
And it's some ruby. It's a ruby, actually.
Well, at this rate, once he clears the entire overworld, he might be able to afford a 4-pack of bombs.
Who knows?
Okay, right. Now we're getting synced up. Let's see what the third Armos has for us here. It's another stair, so the Armos item will either be over at Death Armos or at the grave.
Yep. What do you want the Armos item to be today?
Well, we haven't seen any. It's early, but we haven't seen any overly difficult overworld enemies yet. So, ordinarily, my favorite when I'm running something like this would be I'd like to get a red ring early, just so I can tank a little bit more, particularly in dungeons against tougher enemies. But really, anything that provides any offense for the runners, I think they'll be more than happy to take. They're also looking, by the way, for those who aren't familiar with this format, the wood sword that you would normally find is replaced with a blue candle. $11 bombs. You just need 9 more small secrets, and you can grab a pack of those.
Except there is not 9 small secrets in here.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I think that's fortunate. If the number of secrets were randomized and they were all small secrets, I would not be happy.
There's probably a way to create a troll seed that does that, but that would require a lot of extracurricular work to code it correctly. As Caffy finds the letter up in the far northeast secret cave, EMS has enough money to grab a 4-pack of bombs, so he must have found a medium secret somewhere when in the first couple of minutes.
Yep. Let's see what we find. Oh, takes a death to the gorilla.
Right, so back to Stardew Go. He doesn't have far to go to get back to where he was headed. As Caffy makes his way up to level 5, he's going to make these 3 checks. The top of Vanilla 5, and then the Waterfall, and then the White Sword Cave. Vincent, in terms of routing, given what you've seen so far, what do you expect the runners to be prioritizing next?
Since they already have their Armos item, the 2 things that they're going to be prioritizing is smaller dungeons and possibly the red candle as the white sword item. But before they do that, they're going to try and get some hearts so they can possibly get that.
It's a really good point. It will require between 4 and 6 hearts to qualify to be able to pick up the red candle if they're able to find it.
Yep, which is why part of the whole thing of going to search the lower dungeons, because the hearts in the lower dungeons are going to be a lot easier to potentially attain than if you were to go to a larger dungeon.
Absolutely. EMS is checking the any roads, and interestingly, one of them is the Vanilla 4 raft spot. So that might slightly devalue the raft, knowing that it only will now open 1 cave check as opposed to 2.
Yeah, you're actually kind of happy to see at least one of the block spots taken up, because then that means you're just like, okay, ignore the raft for today. The only merit to get the raft is, that's my only area to, and on Eat My Steel side, we find the blue candle. And I can about imagine that CaffyJD is going to be right up there relatively soon.
I agree. If he doesn't, it's a good thing he found that vanilla blue candle, because the store blue candle price is prohibitively expensive.
Yep, and we are going to find level 9 at Death Armos.
Somewhat fitting. It's good to find 9 early, because then you can, in the late stages of the game, that enables you to plan a little bit better in terms of which dungeons you complete last. Actually, it's the ones that are closest to 9 to get better routing. From our tracker, Camion Renikai, and thanks to him for doing the tracking this evening, it looks like our runners started with Triforces in 3, 5, and 8. In these flag sets, the runners don't have swords available to them at all, but they do get, they only have to retrieve 5 of the 8 Triforces. They start with the other 3. Vincent, with 3, 5, and 8, are you happy with that assortment if you're the runners?
I'm fine with it. You got rid of one of the bigger dungeons. Granted, it's 8, which has 2 items, but I typically try to avoid digging those unless I feel like it's required. Even 8 with having 2 items, it's just a lot to dig. We have level 2 on Eat My Steel side.
That's a good find for him, because there's 1 heart on the floor, and there will be 1 item also on the floor. It's of the early dungeons you like to find, it's the one, as Caffy will pick up his blue candle to get his offense going. It's one of the ones where you have a good likelihood of just being able to walk into a room and find an item on the ground and grab it.
Yep. As Caffy finds level 9, he is going in to try and hear the roar of Ganon. And I did not hear a roar. So, no.
Neither. Yeah, some runners have started to do that the minute they find 9. What's your feeling on whether that helps you out later in the game, or is it kind of a wash?
I don't. I can understand the idea behind it, but I'm just like, if Gen's close by, Gen's close by. Usually I go into 9 with full health regardless. Usually. Unless I have red ring, then I might just say, screw it. I'll just fight Ganon on 3 hearts. And
Fair enough.
if I have a potion. Ooh.
Absolutely. Red candle in the far southwest corner of the map. Good find for EMS. Caffy will probably make his way there at some point. How quickly will depend on how willing he is to dig level 2, seeing that enemy set he saw in the first room. Looks like he's going to peace out of there and come back later.
As eatmysteel finds level 7.
And level 7 is a dungeon he'll need to dig to get the Triforce out, and he's going to take a peek and see if he runs into any enemy sets he doesn't like.
I would try and clear this, actually. Because you have red candles, so the only thing that can stop you is an Aquamentus that apparently goes down in 1 bomb. As a runner,
that's a squishy boy.
That.
Yeah, that's a squishy boy. Oh, hello.
You don't want to see that, especially in a reverse C room. Because CaffyJD found their red candle. But as I was saying, that's going to require either a wand or it's going to require other combat. A lot of bombs to clear that room out.
Exactly right. And one thing we should mention for folks who are not familiar with this particular flag set is that one of the items in one of the dungeons is a 2-pack bomb upgrade. In addition, the 2 old men in the dungeons who provide bomb upgrades you can buy are still in the mix as well. So there are opportunities for the runners to increase their bomb count up to 8 as, EMS takes a death and hit back to the start of 7 he'll head.
However, he did get one thing. He got the compass. For level 7.
That's right, that's a good catch. And that will help him with routing and probably save him a little bit of time. Well,
and
yeah, that's if he goes in there.
He is not going to go in there. He died to blue lamolas, and also with the combination of red dart nuts, I would be noping out of there.
Yeah, and it's not in a difficult location. As Caffy's in 2 now, and that's an interesting level 2 map.
Yep, I want to say it's a sideways football stand where you throw the football in between.
Okay, I can see that. Kind of look to me like a weird microscope. Well, it may not matter much because Caffy looks like he's gonna come back later.
Yep, we're going to need a wand or a boat. So with these flags, we will 100% know that there's going to be a boat or wand out in one of these dungeons. Because you have to be able to clear a dungeon in order for it to not be in level 9. Because we do have the flag that important items can be in level 9. However, that just made it so that either bow or wand is going to be found in a dungeon. And that's at least knowledge for CaffyJD and I believe for eatmysteel, because I believe they both found that room. So they're going to be looking around for either a bow or a wand.
Yep, that's a really good point in terms of logic, because it will in some instances it might dictate that you don't dig certain dungeons for an item or don't prioritize them as much.
Caffy.
Nice candle boost.
Yep. Caffy is going in here, realizes he will not be able to clear that dungeon.
Yep.
And
EMS takes a death.
Finds an extremely important item. The Armos item. was apparently the ladder.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's tough to see because his feed is cutting in and out a little bit, but that is an excellent find early in the game. It won't probably necessitate him heading over to pick up the coast heart, but it will certainly help him in terms of accessibility in dungeons.
Yep. And Caffy will be right on his heels.
Yeah, we're 13 minutes in. The runners are fairly even at this point. I wouldn't say anyone has a major advantage. Would you, Vincent?
Nope. Either runner has an advantage here. They are pretty much on par as soon as Caffy gets his ladder.
Yep, and he should have that in a minute. We've only seen 2 and 7, so a lot of the overworld left to go. EMS is going to head to the coast. Okay, 93 for the large secret. That's not bad.
That's actually pretty good. A little below average seat. Ooh, eatmysteel finds level 1. That is probably one of the levels that he will 100% dig here, regardless how tough the combat is, unless it is undoable.
Absolutely right. There are 2 items in here, and yeah, we've got some wall masters here he's dealing with the candle. Yeah, his feed is giving us a little bit of difficulty. But he gets a key out of it, and this is another reason why level 1 can sometimes be undoable. It has a reputation for eating a lot of keys.
Yep. All right, all right, we have our first item out of level 1, and it is. Oh wow!
Well. This seed just opened up quite a bit.
Yep. That answers level 7, and quite a bit.
Meanwhile, Caffy makes a decision, finds a take any, and makes a decision a lot of experienced runners will make once they have their white sword item, in this case the red candle, acquired, is they'll take a potion, even when they have even just 5 or 6 hearts, because it'll be more useful to them in a lot of instances than having that extra heart in reserve.
Yep. I typically I don't usually grab a potion from a take any. Very rare occasions do I take a potion.
Yeah, see, I'm with you. I would rather. I suppose there's an argument to be made that later in the game, if you use a potion and you have 14 hearts, that's a few extra seconds it takes to fill up. Or if you go to a fairy and you fill up. Hello, 78 to get +3 in bombs. That's a trade EMS is going to take every day of the week.
Pretty decent. Discounted bomb upgrade for less bombs. That I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, he absolutely would be fine with that without the wand, and with the wand, it just gives him a lot of options for how to proceed combat wise and progression wise in dungeons, which is great. We see the blue ring on Candle Row, $242 for the blue ring, a little under its normal price. I'm skeptical as to whether either runner will go after it unless money is just burning a hole in their pocket.
There's only a slight possibility, just depending on money. With the money in this seat, I don't foresee it happening. These runners will probably try and run on green tunic here, because the money is not overabundant here. So if it was more prominent, then there might be a blue ring purchase, but I don't foresee it happening in the near future.
Very fair. As Caffy finds level 6, and in the screen before that, he found the magical sword cave, which in this set of flags is a +2 bomb upgrade. He'll need between 10 and 14 hearts in order to be able to get that. A lot of runners don't prioritize that in this flag set unless it's just right on their way to doing something else.
Alright, so eatmysteel is going into the Triforce room. Triforce is free for the taking. And eatmysteel has grabbed his Triforce out of 1. That is now 4 Triforces for him. As we have the item in level 6, this is actually a really good find here. Because what this is going to do is it's going to allow Caffy to find the 3 dungeons that he has Triforces from already.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because one of the things that will give a runner an advantage in a lot of these cases is mobility, not just through the any roads, but the ability to go between dungeons that you either already have cleared, or in this case, for which you have already been granted the Triforce at the beginning of the feed. So if 3, 5, and 8 are located in spread out spots on the map, Caffy just got potential really significant time save in terms of his ability to get around, which is great.
Also, what do you think of that level 6?
Well, that's a map. It's I wouldn't say it's linear, but it's just got tendril. It's just got tentacles. It's a pain, is what it looks like. What do you think it looks like?
Give me a second.
Okay. While you're thinking about that, did I see right that those blue dark nuts went down to 2 bomb shots on Caffy's side?
That is correct.
That's a good development for both runners.
That is a very good development, because that means that either it's going to take 6 hits or 8 hits with the wand to kill the blue dart nut. Also, orange dart nuts go down in 1 bomb, which is something that you want to see, because that means it's only going to take 1 or 2 hits with the wand to kill them. Alright, Caffy.
Now that he has his red candle, he's going to go back and burn some stuff down. Okay, this makes sense. Yeah, and to answer your question in chat, it looks like Power Bracelet it was the floor item in 1, which EMS picked up. We must have missed it when his stream was going in and out. But Power Bracelet opens up 4 more of the overworld spots that weren't open before, one of which I believe was one of the Take Any roads.
Yep, it was. Alright, I think we're going to see Caffy do some more exploration here. Caffy needs to get his butt over to level 1.
Yeah, I would expect he'll burn a lot of the he's resetting here. He'll burn a lot of spots here in the forest to clear those out. He's so close to the south coast here that he should have no trouble. Well, he's got only 1 bomb now, so he needs to get some bombs. I think he may be farming for bombs here.
Yep,
is that what it looks like he's doing?
Yep, he is resetting the game. When you reset the game, it gives you it resets your bomb count to 0, and so when you go kill your first enemy, it'll set it at 1, and on count 1, when you kill an enemy, it will drop a bomb, just like Caffy just had happen there.
Perfect. And blue Octoroks are one of the bomb dropping enemies anyway. So even if he didn't get it on his first hit, he ended up killing in the resets. He ended up killing all 4 enemies on there, because there's also a possibility that. And I can never remember the bomb tables. It's like
8.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's either 3, 6, and 8 or 1, 6, and 8. I couldn't remember which.
It's 1, 6, and 8. So there's that screen, there's only 1 chance of getting a bomb. So after you kill the first one, it doesn't pay to keep on going. All right, as eatmysteel is in level 3. So in this level, he is. Looks like he has block clipped onto that to protect himself from the blue Lamolas. Very heads up play. And apparently did not push.
Okay. So he has, this is a linear 3, so it'll kind of dictate his pathing. I don't know exactly what, that's, okay. So that bomb wall that he just bombed down south did not open, which, if I remember correctly, Vincent, probably means that's an old man immediately below there?
Yep, it could be one of 3 things. It could be a could be an old man. It can be if it does a bomb from the side, it could be a corridor staircase, or it could be Zelda's room. In this specific case, it had to be an old man room.
Okay, that makes sense. Caffy's making his progress through one, and he's about to get some very good news here when he goes down this stair. As he'll pick up his wand. 23 minutes in, he will certainly be happy about that.
He may feel behind actually picking the wand up this late because it's level 1.
True, and it was close to South Coast was close to start for both runners, so he does not know if EMS is would have prioritized that those 3 checks. It's entirely possible he would have. You're right that it's probably safe for him to assume that EMS already has the wand, and in this case, we know he does.
Yep.
EMS has made it to the tippy top of what looks like some sort of like a weird Barca lounger or rocking chair for a map of 3, maybe? I don't know, what do you think?
Looks like a clamp.
Yeah, like a C-clamp, I can see that. Okay, we have a stair in 3, and we have the any key.
You're excited to have an any key, because that's going to allow you to have free dungeon exploration. And right now, the EMS has nothing that can block him at all in dungeons, except for one or two potential items. One that CaffyJD has, which is the recorder, and the other item being the bow. And the reason behind that is Gomas and Big Doggers can potentially block pathways in dungeons. Other than that, eatmysteel has pretty much has the dungeons by his hand.
Absolutely. As he also now finds level 8, and he's going to at least take a peek. There are 2 items under stair blocks that he can potentially find. He's pretty happy with the item set he has now, but there are 2 necessary items he doesn't have yet, and that's what he's hoping to find here.
Yeah, in my opinion, if I have at least 2 of the 3 required items, I will continue exploring until I have at least 2 of the 3. Once I have that, then I will start gambling to go to level 9. At least that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, particularly late in the game when there are only so many possible items left to get. The maths, in a lot of cases, will dictate that it makes sense for you to gamble that your required item is in 9, just mathematically.
As we have our first push block, and it's a transport. So, at minimum, level 8 has at least 1 transport staircase. There may be more if this level 8 is segmented, and it is not. So that is going to be the only transport staircase as we have our first item in level 8. And it is Lord Banana. And EMS is going to pick it up.
For folks watching, you may be wondering, well, why did he pick that up? You know, you already have wand, you have a lot of stuff. Both boomerangs allow you to stun certain enemies, which can be particularly helpful in a couple of scenarios. One being if you're trying to force a bomb drop or cluster enemies that have high HP that you want to use a minimum amount of resources to do the maximum amount of damage. So in a normal sorted run, you might be tempted to leave that on the floor, but in a swordless run, the boomerang does actually have a decent amount of utility.
Yep.
Where it does not have utilities in that room right there, where EMS just up and 8 out of.
Yep, and I don't blame EMS for leaving that level 8. He's got 1 item. He doesn't really want to dig it unless the C tells him to.
Exactly, because once you get one of the two, the big benefit of level 8 is that it has 2 stair items rather than one. It and 1 are the only 2 dungeons that, aside from 9, that are going to have multiple items. So once you get one of the items out of there, 8's value becomes basically the same as 5, 6, or 7 in that it's a bigger dungeon and there's only one item left.
I actually classify 5 as the lower end of the dungeons just because it has the potential to be pretty small.
No, yeah, that's actually right. Yeah, that's a good point. EMS is in 4, and he's armed with a bow now, so he's able to do more damage.
He is not armed with a bow.
Or, I'm sorry, a wand. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yep.
It's late. We've both had long days. You've had a very long day. You did your race a couple hours ago, and you've also been helping out with some other races, getting them off the ground during the tournament. So you have to have a big pot of coffee going.
Nope. All I've had was pretty much, I made sure I had a really healthy sandwich this morning and some Gatorade. That's all.
Well, you're living better than I am. Let's put it that way. This EMS is going to pop that door open. That's useful for internal dungeon tracking purposes, so you can see where doors are. That when you take a peek up at your start screen. I have been guilty in a seat or two of not popping a door open when I could have, and then looking at the start screen and assuming that there's not a door someplace where there absolutely was.
Generally, when you have the any key, it is actually generally a good idea to pop doors open, just so you don't have to worry about did I clear do I have to start bombing walls? In this case, I like what eatmysteel is doing. And Caffy's doing this level 1.
Yeah, Caffy has not found the floor item yet. It's the power bracelet, and we weren't able to see in which room the power bracelet was a floor drop, but we will on Caffy's side here probably in a minute or so. Might be here.
There it is.
Hey, there we go. And now he can head on out of 1. And I think he's cleared all the spots on the coast, except... no, he hasn't cleared that 3rd spot on the coast. So he may swing over there, and may or may not pick up the Coast Heart while he's in the neighborhood.
If you're in the neighborhood and you know there's a heart there, you might as well pick it up. Unless he dies. Then I wouldn't go out of my way for it.
Fair enough. EMS is dealing with a single Dodongo room. Doesn't drop anything. I think he was hoping that was going to be a Triforce or a Dungeon Heart, but one of the downsides of not having a sword in these flags is that Dodongos have to be killed by having them eat 2 bombs. You can't do the single smoke and stab them once trick. So seeing a triple Dodongo room in a dungeon where you have to clear that room means you're going to be spending at least 6 bombs, which is a pain.
Yep. It is one of the top rooms if you think Wiz ropes are one of the top rooms I avoid, and swordless, triple Dodongo rooms are actually the rooms I avoid the most.
I don't blame you one bit. They're called Troll Dongos for a reason. And they don't move as quickly as maybe your blue dark nuts when you're trying to get a shot on them, but they have an annoying habit of moving at exactly the wrong time, exactly when you placed your bomb. Especially, and they always seem to do it when it seems like they know you're down to your last 1 or 2 bombs. So like, oh, did you want me to eat that? No, that's okay.
So during my 3rd race this season, I had a level 7 that had 3 triple Dodongos in a row.
That's just gross. That's someone is playing a trick on somebody at that point. And look what we have here for EMS.
That is, if there is a Holy Grail item, that is like the Holy Grail.
That is the best nice to have item in the game, particularly with this flag set. because you're going to have to be stuck in rooms, clearing rooms with higher HP enemies that are going to. It reduces a lot of headaches, makes your life a lot easier, particularly in harder and bigger dungeons.
Yep. So now we will see Eat My Steel not be so careful, and it's just going to go head first into these enemies here. And it is going to try and find the Triforce here, which we have not located yet.
Not yet. This is a manageable. Would you say this is a manageably sized 4?
It's a little bit bigger than normal, but it's not that bad. And Caffy finds the old man room down below him, and level 3.
All right, EMS pretty much full cleared level 3 to get all the way to the back to get everything you needed out of there. So Caffy will almost certainly do the same, but he'll be very happy with the item that he finds at the end of that rainbow. But it'll take him about the same amount of time it took EMS, as EMS is making his way diligently through 4, trying to find the Triforce so he can leave.
Yep.
So Vincent, if you're EMS at this stage, you're feeling pretty good, despite the fact that you don't have bow or silvers yet. Would you agree with that?
I would be feeling fine, yes. I just be wondering, and we find the Triforce in level 4. So Eat My Steel is definitely going to get out of there. He 100% does not care about... The only other thing that's in there is a container heart, and he doesn't care about that.
Absolutely. Caffy just pulled off something I'm terrible at, a ladder clip in a moat room. Did it very well as a way to get through this room. He's got 2 rooms left to get his any key, and then he'll be headed on out the door. EMS is headed up to the far northeast, and he'll pick up his letter, which will allow him to buy potions, and he's certainly got the money for that.
Yep. I was about to make a note. He also found the blue ring, but because he found the red ring, there's a 0% chance that he'll be buying that blue ring now.
But if he wanted to make this game really hard on himself. But yeah, no, he's not doing that. And that's actually good news for money management purposes. Neither runner's bought arrows yet, but that's got to be, EMS was just in a dungeon where arrows were available. Is he going to get them here? He's getting 2 packs of bombs.
Yeah, yep. He just purchased his arrows.
Excellent. I like this play. For me, it seems like 60% of the time whenever I do this, the next dungeon I'm in, I find silvers. But it's still a good play even if that happens. It's one of those scenarios I've heard a lot of runners say that, even if when you spend the 250 on the blue ring and the next item you find is the red ring, it was still worth it. EMS is probably going to feel pretty similar if he encounters the silvers here in short order.
Oh, I will. As long as I have the funds, I will purchase my arrows right away. It is like it's candles and arrows for me. Literally in my last seat, in the seat that I just raced, I literally went, all right, candle, boom. Found my arrow shop. Get a little bit more money. Got a little bit more money. Went right back to the arrow shop. Found the arrows and bought my arrows immediately.
Good strategy, and it definitely paid off for you. For those of you who don't know, Vincent ran his week 4 Swiss race at 9 o'clock and was victorious. So Vincent is 2-2, headed into week 5, and the winner of this match will also be 2-2. If you're not familiar with how the stages of this work, there are 5 weeks of Swiss competitions. If at the end of the 5 weeks of Swiss competitions a runner finishes with a record of 3-2 or better, they are automatically moving on to the bracket stages. If you finish 2 and 3, it is possible to make the bracket stages, but it will come down to certain tiebreakers, strength of schedule, among other things. So the runners like Caffy and EMS, who are 1 and 2, definitely want to be 2 and 2 headed into week 5. Gives them a lot more wiggle room than if they end up 1 and 3 headed into week 5 and have to win and get a little help in order to make it into the bracket stage.
Alright, eatmysteel is in level 6, and we'll see if he finds the recorder in level 6. It depends on which he finds first, the Triforce or the recorder.
Yeah, he doesn't know that this is a good dungeon for him to tackle now, but particularly if he finds that recorder, he's going to be very happy with that result. He has 5 Triforces. He will almost certainly have 6 coming out of here. He'll have a lot more overworld mobility than he did a few minutes ago, which is great.
Alright, we'll see how long it takes for eatmysteel to complete this level 6, because more time that eatmysteel completes this dungeon, that will give that much more time to CaffyJD and trying to catch back up, as he is kind of trailing eatmysteel.
Yeah, quite right. Now, did Caffy spend a ton of time in 6? I don't know that he did.
He did spend a bit of time in this 6. He actually took 2 trips into 6.
Ah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, to your point then, the more time EMS spends in 6 trying to dig out the item and or the Triforce, that opens the door for CaffyJD to make up some time in levels like the one he's in right now, in level 4.
Yep.
Yeah, to answer a question in chat, Caffy was in level 3. He did not need to pick up the Triforce in level 3. In these flag sets, yes, the runners start without a sword, but the runners start with 3 Triforces already in hand, and those Triforces are randomized in each seed. In this case, one of the 3 Triforces that the runners started with was level 3s. So Caffy did not need to pick up the Triforce in order to have the 8 necessary to enter level 9. He could have picked it up if he wanted to and take the health refill, and some runners will do that depending on circumstances, but he did not need to pick it up here.
Alright, well, eatmysteel found the recorder in 6 pretty quickly. So all he needs to do is now find that Triforce.
And this is good. This is good internal routing. 6 is fairly linear. It's fairly messy for a linear dungeon, but he's routing it well and seems to be making really good progress here.
Alright, so CaffyJD needs to get to the lower right hand portion of this level 4 to get to his Triforce.
All right, and the reverse logic from what we were just talking about in 6 applies here for Caffy. The longer he spends trying to dig out 4, that's additional time that EMS can make up elsewhere. We haven't seen the bow yet. Where, Vincent? Where you root? Where do you think it's going to be? Where do you hope it is?
Where it's going to be, judging by the items that we have found already, I am going to say it's in level 9.
That would make for a spicy little seed, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then I'm going to say that silvers are in 7.
Okay. 7 was a dungeon that, if for folks who are just joining now, 7 and 2 were dungeons that the runners found early, but didn't really have any offense to speak of, so weren't able to really tackle. They're both dungeons they'll both need to clear in order to gain entry into 9.
And they were nasty dungeons.
Yes, they were definitely that. Whiz robes and Pole's voice, and not a lot of fun, especially when you're on 3 or 4 hearts. So, it would be particularly interesting to have necessary items be buried in one or both of those dungeons. EMS is making his progress through 6. Vincent, do you remember where the Triforce was in 6? Was it up in the north, kind of northwest?
Yeah, it was. So eatmysteel is getting close to it. And Caffy
go ahead.
Caffy just found the red ring, so now his defense is quadrupled. And I think he's going to make he make a beeline for that southeast area. Yep, and that's it. Like one of the only areas he has not cleared yet.
Yep, so he should have his Triforce in short order. He's maxed out on rupees, so he'll need to do something with those at some point. Arrows would be the smart purchase, maybe also a potion, although he has Red Ring. So, I don't know, Vincent, if you've got Red Ring in a scenario... Oh, that's right. We talked about this. You're right. He picked up a potion in lieu of a Take Any Heart. ZMS gets another bomb upgrade.
Yep, the only thing I would be interested in is a bomb upgrade right now. As CaffyJD, buy some bombs. I like this. Just finish off your stock. Oh, and CaffyJD already bought one bomb upgrade. Remember how I said that money might not be so good in this seat? Well, looks like they're having trouble spending all their money.
We did have hopes of a poverty seed early for folks who are just joining. First two caves we found were small secrets that were $1 a piece. So we thought we might have a trollicious seed, but hello, 8.
Power bracelet was required, so that getting that power bracelet in 1 was very essential.
A very interesting development. You may be aware that in some flag sets, there's a flag set to where you can force an overworld block, by which it's meant that one of the levels is blocked by some item, whether it is the power bracelet or the recorder or the wrath. That flag is not on in this case, but one or more dungeons can be overworld blocked, and in this case, level 8 was. EMS is in 2. This is interesting. What do you think of this, Vincent?
I like the play. It's a small dungeon, and you need to get the Triforce out of it, and you still need the item out of it.
With 14 bombs and a wand, yeah, he has to be feeling pretty good about his ability to make progress in here, and he has the ladder. So in a room like this that may have a drop, he would not have been able early in the seed to be able to get an item. If there was a drop there, he'll absolutely be able to get it now.
CaffyJD gets a really nice drop in the Pulse Voice room. He got a clock with almost all the Pulse Voice in the room, so he is going to make short work and is going to find out about the transport staircase. I thought that was the Lord Banana room.
Yeah, this might be the banana. Well, I know that the banana room was right next to one of the transport staircases, but I'm not sure whether it was this. No, it was not this one. It must have been at the other. It must have been at the other end.
This is the transport staircase. This is the banana room.
There it is. Okay.
The room above that is the other end of the transport staircase.
Good eye on your part. All right, you'll take care of this Dodongo. Push this block, and get the not-so-great news.
Hello, transport. Goodbye, transport. Looks like we got a magical banana sighting and level 2.
Interesting. Can't tell if EMS picked that up or not. Not the worst item in the world, but his main priority now, with that knowledge, is going to be get the Triforce and move on to the next.
Oh. There aren't not too many blue items left.
All right, Caffy's going to make an appearance in level 2 now. Not far behind. He's 1 behind in Triforce count. If he's looking for a required item in 2, he's not going to find it, but he will be able to get his Triforce out of here now that he's a little better armed.
Well, and Eat My Steel gets his Triforce in level 2.
All right, now do you remember where level 7 was? That's the only dungeon that EMS has yet to clear.
I believe it's right there.
Aha! Ask and you shall receive. Neither runner really dug this more than a couple rooms when it was found early in the Dead Woods. Combat was just not their friend and weren't properly armed. But they are now, and will be focused heavily on trying to find one of the 2 required items that's still outstanding.
All right, so there is something I like that I like on Cappy's screen. Did you see how many hits it took to take down those orange whiz robes?
I did not. Did they roll up or did they roll down?
They rolled down. It only takes 1 bomb to kill them.
That's good news for both runners, even though they have the bomb upgrades, but 9 has a tendency to be chock full of whiz robes. Hello! That was not
that was
banana
the
infused.
silvers.
Well, remember how you said that if you have 2 of the 3 required items headed into, and you have the ability to go into 9, you're going to 9? I'm pretty sure both runners have both required items now. We did not see EMS pick up the silvers out of 2, but I would be surprised if he didn't, given that he's no longer
100%.
there.
I'd 100% think that he did pick them up.
Yeah, we'll watch his start screen to see if we can confirm that they're there. But yeah, I would be shocked if he didn't pick them up.
I'm going to assume that he did. So, because he would not have left that without them.
Okay, chat saying they saw a snippet of the start screen with the silvers for EMS. So that's good news. Both runners have silvers. So now, I guess we return to that question I asked you earlier, Vincent. If Bo's not in 7, are you going to 9 and hoping that the Bo's there?
I'm not. I'm going to be just trying to get the Triforce out of here. If I find the item, awesome. If I don't, I am just going to go. Ooh, I like this. Orange Heart Nuts die to 1 Wandit.
We've got some friendly combat in this feed. I'm sure neither runner's going to complain about that.
Yep. But back to what you were saying. If I find the Triforce, I find the Triforce. When I find the Triforce, if I don't find the item, I'm going to be. Oh well, I'm going to go to 9. Once I get all my Triforces.
Fair enough. The items that are still outstanding, and you can see them on the screen, but for folks who can't see the tracker on the screen, Bow's still outstanding, Raft, the book, which is an atlas in these flags, and can be helpful in mapping 9, as well as the blue banana are still outstanding. So one of those items is going to be in 7, and then 2 more will be in 9. So the math kind of dictates at this stage, now that we're 51 minutes in, that if the bow is not in 7 and you have that, and you're EMS and you have that Triforce, you might as well go to 9, because there's a decent chance you're going to find what you need there. And if you don't, you know exactly where you have to go.
So you might notice that these runners are actually going out of their way just to get to that Triforce there.
Yeah, you're right. Both runners have the compass, so they are intentionally routing in such a way that they're trying to. What do we have?
Item. We have the book.
Okay. Useful item.
It's a double-edged sword, however. Useful, it gives you the maps. However, now you have fire on your wand.
Which sounds great, in theory. And if you like lag on your screen, boy, did you just find the best item you could find. But lag slows you down, and this is a race.
It's not just that, but the fire damages you. But there is also one other thing to note. It's not going to be too bad for these runners since they have red rings, so it's just going to be minuscule damage to them.
Yeah, no, really good point. Damage will be low. Annoyance will still be high. That fire is useful against a few enemies in certain circumstances, like like your land molas or maybe your Gibdos. But yeah, you're right. It is absolutely a double-edged sword. Not something EMS is going to turn down, though, given that it gives him the map in 9 the minute he walks in the door.
All right.
So Bo's in 8 or Bo's in 9, it looks like.
Yep. We do not have the item out of 5 either.
That's right, we don't. It could be in 5.
Ooh. Okay. Good. No.
Well, now it can't be in 5. So we were right the first time. It's 8 or 9. And yeah, to answer your question in chat, 5 was one of the 3 Triforces the runners started with. They started with Triforces in 3, 5, and 8.
All right. Caffy needs to get to the Triforce room. Once he gets into Triforce room, he will find the item there and be out of here.
Yep, and then I assume his next stop is 6, which is not a terrible dungeon to clear, but it's a fairly linear dungeon. As EMS is going to get a health refill before he heads into 9.
Yep. So, what are we looking for when we head into level 9?
We're looking for a couple of things, as Caffy's going to pick up his book in 7 and then claim his Triforce. We're looking for a couple of things. We are looking for, obviously, a path to Zelda. But first and foremost, we once we have all the necessary items to kill Ganon, we are looking for what's known as a roar and a door. We are listening for the roar of Ganon. Ganon is a loud boy, so his roar can be heard not just in the room he's in, but if you are in a room that's orthogonally adjacent to the room where Ganon is. And speaking of which, hello, friends. At 5517, EMS has found his way into the room of the character known as Ganon, but he immediately up and A's because he doesn't have the necessary implements to be able to kill Ganon and can't get out of that room.
Yep.
So, to more fully answer your question, find Ganon. That's been done. Find the bow. Kill Ganon. And then in some order, find a path to Zelda. Zelda will be in a room that is blocked off by at least one shutter door. If the runners are clear a room where there is a shutter door and that shutter door does not open, they will know the location of the kidnapped and have a path to be able to get to her.
Did you just see what CaffyJD just did?
I did not. What did he do?
He just picked up the magical sword bomb.
That's interesting. Was it on the way for him to 6?
I don't know. I can't really tell right now because I don't know.
Yeah, he's frozen. I would have to think that it would be something where he's on the way there and just happened to grab it. I would hope he wouldn't go far out of his way to get the bomb. The +2 bombs are certainly useful. We're getting a little bit of lag, but EMS finds a transport staircase and he's not going to take it.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I did when I was in level 9. I didn't take the staircases right away, but I'm running out of areas to look at, so I started taking staircases and randomly found Ganon and Zelda. So I was like, okay, now I know where they're at.
We're right next to each other. Do I remember that right from your seed?
Yep, they were.
That doesn't often happen in a rando seed, but when it does, it's kind of nice. So yeah, in this scenario, I think, Vincent, are you one of the type of runners, when you go into 9, if you have all the items you need, are you not taking stairs typically? You're just trying to get into as many rooms as possible, see if you can find a path?
Yep, I am one of those runners that I don't take staircases unless you make me.
Fair enough. Although, in this scenario, because you're looking for Bo, EMS is at least going to peek in staircases. He may not take them if they are transports, unless he has to, but he is going to at least get the knowledge of what that staircase is.
The one exception to that is if I'm without a red ring and I don't have blue ring, I might check the staircases, see if there's a red ring in them. if I figure that red ring is a 9.
Yeah, that because for those who don't know, Ganon does a lot of damage. You can, if you take body contact with Ganon, that's 4 hearts of damage on Green Tunic. That hurts a lot, and that damage can add up fast when you're trying to track him down in the room.
I'm kind of liking what this level 6 is doing. It's telling JD that you have to go through this room and clear this. And he is clearing this room.
Yeah, that'll be good news for him. Oh, hi, Zelda's room. Is Zelda there? No, she's not. Oh, well, darn.
She will not be in her room. Uh-oh. No, he faked us out. He was headed towards the right side of the dungeon, and then the left side of the dungeon. Then he juked it right.
Yeah. Well, he probably has to think that there's just a couple rooms here. I can, if they're easy enemy sets, I can clear them out. Just one less thing I have to worry about. Won't cost him a ton of time, as one of the items EMS finds is a bomb upgrade. Well, that kind of changes the calculus a little bit, or does it?
It's still a 50-50.
Okay, yeah. So there's one item left in 9. Very well could be the bow. If it's not, then we've got a race at that point.
Yep.
Is that Aurora here? Yes, it is.
We already knew where.
Oh, that's right. We already knew where the location was. You're right. Here's the second bomb upgrade for Caffy. He'll take that. 16 bombs is pretty good going into 9.
Yeah. Also, on top of that, if he takes the same gamble as eatmysteel. Oh. You had to find the recorder in level 6 to get the Triforce.
Right, we did see that earlier. We didn't comment on it at the time because EMS made quick work of this room, but yeah, that's two overworld items, power bracelet and recorder, that were required in this seed. And the fact that both runners are, as far as they are, needing those 2 required items just at about an hour in is a testament to how good these runners are.
Did you see what we saw on eatmysteel's side?
I blinked and I missed it. What did I miss?
The compass.
Ah, okay.
However, shoot.
Well, we've seen a couple of shoots in 9 so far, haven't we?
Yep, and eatmysteel kit was on the wrong side of the chute to get the compass.
I'd have to think he'll make his way back there at some point if he already doesn't know where Zelda's room is. He's got a Patra to deal with here.
CaffyJD, now in level 5. Unfortunately, he is going to be very disappointed in what he finds here.
Now, Caffy went to 5 instead of going to 9.
Oh, boy.
Well, we have a race, folks. Guess where the silvers are? They're not in 9.
They're in 8.
So now we know where EMS is headed. The fact that Caffy went to 5 instead of 9, does that tell you any... Or yeah, bow, I'm sorry, not silver. Does that tell you that Caffy thinks he's behind?
No, he is just trying to increase the odds.
Okay.
Now this will determine if Caffy decides to go to level 8. This will give Caffy a possible chance to come back, but with eatmysteel knowing at least where Ganon is, the clock for him is starting to tick here.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The fact that EMS has already dug a significant portion of 9 and at least has a route to Ganon will definitely save him time if both runners find the bow about the same time. Yeah, I said bow instead of silver. It's late, folks. We're doing... The point is that 2 of the 3 items have been acquired to kill Ganon. That third one is the one that's missing. And, Caffy's headed into 9.
Alrighty. Well, unfortunately for Caffy, he is just going to find a raft and a bomb upgrade.
So am I right that Mathematically, this makes some sense because no, actually, it's 50-50. Caffy didn't see either item in 8 the first time he was in there, did he?
He saw the boomerang. He just didn't.
Oh, he did. Okay.
So it's a 66% chance in Caffy's eyes, but it's a 0% chance in our eyes.
Fair enough. Math is fun, folks, especially late on a Friday night in North America. So, we're happy to have you here on SpeedGaming 4. This has been an entertaining race. EMS is looking for a stair that he hasn't seen yet. He's seen 3 of the 4 stairs in this level. He found both transport stairs, his first appearance in the dungeon, and he found the regular boomerang already in the dungeon. He's looking for that last stair that will be the bow, that will unlock his ability to defeat Ganon at 9.
Yep. Where is the bow?
Yeah. Jay Coper asked a question. What's up with the bow? That sounds like a Seinfeld, Leah. What is the deal with this bow? Alright. It's looking like odds are the bow's going to be in the bottom left of level 8. That's where the lion's share of the rooms that EMS has not checked are still outstanding. Needs to be a little careful. He's down to 1 heart.
Yes, Jay Coper. We have seen all the items in 9, and eatmysteel had gambled the bow in 9, and it was not there. So he is doing a redig of level 8 as he is about to pick up his bow.
A bow that he had to beat a dig dogger to get in the stair for. So once again, as we said earlier, power bracelet required to get into 8. Recorder required in 2 different spots to beat dig doggers to get a Triforce in 6 and the bow in 8. Very interesting.
Yep, and eatmysteel is now in go mode. Going to take a dip into the fairy fountain. I don't mind the play. It's on the way to level 9, so might as well get that free health refill.
And Heart's red ring, all the equipment he needs. He's got to be feeling pretty good about his chances. Headed in. He saw Ganon's fairly early in the entry into 9, yes?
Yep, Ganon's fairly early. He is looking at that clock because Caffy could finish. Because Caffy is a formidable opponent. He is actually one of the people that made it to at least to my knowledge, to the bracket stages in the spring tournament. So he is a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely, and that's part of the beauty of this, as EMS is making his second appearance in Ganon's room. The first time he'll be able to do some damage. That's the benefit of what's interesting about this field for this tournament. Everyone's really good. So in seeds like these, a lot of the difference in the seeds comes down to decisions made about routing, finding items in the right order. It's not usually a situation where one runner has a decided combat advantage or a decided tactical advantage. It makes for really entertaining races, like the one you had earlier this evening, and this one we're watching now.
And we got bacon, and we had the Triforce of Power, and we're off to save the princess, wherever she may be. I believe eatmysteel still needs to find the princess, though.
He does, and did you say that he saw the compass in his first dip into 9, but was not able to pick it up because it was in the shoot room?
Yep.
Boy, that'd be really nice to have right about now. It's possible, I suppose, that he runs up, gets the compass. But there it is. Speaking of which,
there's the compass. He can, and he gets locked in the room.
It looks like he's going to try to clear it, so that he can get back out and go back in and grab that item.
And it looks like he got out. He's going to go up and around, possibly. Try and pick it up.
He may have to take the long way there. There's that room to the left. Oh yeah, he's trying to respawn the enemy so that he can get something a little more favorable. Yep, he's gonna just take him out one at a time.
Alright, going to leave that room. As Caffy finds the raft, and eatmysteel gets the compass, and Zelda's in that lower right-hand corner.
Well, that's not where I would have expected she'd be, but that's good news for EMS. He's gonna route his way down there.
Alright. I know we're in slideshow mode, but we're going to have to work with this for now. And
yep, internet troubles are not fun for everybody. There's the shutter door that opens.
Yep, and
that will be GG's for EMS, the winner of tonight's race, with a racetime.gg official time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 55 seconds.
I'm glad that you had that. I didn't have that available this time.
Fair enough. I did remember to look at it this time. In the past couple races I've done commentary on, I've been going off the clock on screen and not been citing the actual racetime.gg time. As it looks like we have EMS here in chat. GG, sir. Well played.
Hey, thanks.
So, what did you think of this seed?
Well, getting the early wand was actually really nice. I didn't have to do a whole heck of a lot of the overworld, although I did end up digging everything out of every dungeon. But
You're not the only one.
Besides that, it was alright.
Basically, you were 2 steps ahead of CaffyJD the entire time. While you were the only time that CaffyJD had a potential chance to catch up was when you two flopped places. When you were in 4, Caffy was in 6. When Caffy was in 4, you were in 6. Other than that, you were always like 1 or 2 steps ahead.
Yeah, and you both ended up double dipping 9. You both ended up kind of last locationing the bow in 8. So yeah, Vincent's exactly right that you both ran really well. You're done in 1 hour at 10 with a seed that had 2 overworld items required in the power bracelet and the
Recorder?
God, I'm blanking on the recorder. Thank you. It's 1 a.m. East Coast time, folks. If you haven't figured it out. So, in terms of knowing who you were up against in this race, EMS, given the order in which you found things, particularly given the not so fun surprise you got when you saw the second item in 9, did you feel ahead? Did you feel behind? Were you comfortable with where you were in terms of place throughout the seed?
Early on, I felt really good because, wand, red ring, any key, and all 3 of those like real quick. That's a real good feeling. But then as it went on, and as I didn't find bow more and more, and I was kind of like, oh, this is going to be right down to the wire. So I was looking for him to got done anytime I was just heading to the girl there. I was like, oh God, please don't let.
Yeah. But basically, you were just 1 or 2 steps ahead the entire time. So you might have been behind, but you are just that 1 step ahead.
Really, really well run throughout. And Caffy is wrapping up in 8. He'll find his bow here momentarily. You found Ganon fairly early in 9, and then it took a while to route to the compass, which is actually what you ended up needing in order to find the kidnapped after beating Ganon. You saw that compass earlier in your first dip in 9 and weren't able to get it because it was in a shoot room. So I'm assuming right after you beat Ganon, you didn't even, you had 2 shutter doors you could have checked, but you wanted to beeline right for that compass just to save yourself the guesswork.
Well, actually, the door that was south of that room I thought might have been Zelda, and south of Ganon too. I didn't know what was under that. So there's a couple shutter doors that I already had marked on my map, and then I went back and because it was kind of a hassle to you had to fight some stuff to get through to that compass. So it wasn't something I wanted to get. I wanted to see if I could stumble upon her first, but I was like, I better grab it. Be safe.
Yeah. So apparently, did you ever find a mugger eatmysteel?
In the dungeons, I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
Well, do you want to know what the mugger had?
Sure.
Keys or bombs?
Well, keys are fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we got our hopes up for a trolley seed right off the bat, actually. The first 2 caves I think you both found were small secrets that were $1. And at that point, we're just thinking, oh, here we go. This is going to be a nasty one. But you guys found the combat equipment and repeatable offense you needed to make progress in dungeons. At the start of the seed, you get the bad news about the small secrets. You find 2 can't do anything, 2-bit whiz robes and tough combat. You find 7 can't do anything in there. And then the seed really opened up for you. At what point did you feel kind of after that opening that you're like, okay, now I've got my feet under me, now we can do some damage?
Yeah, I mean, 15 minutes in, grabbing the wand, that always feels pretty good. Just how quick do you get to that south coast? The red candle was 4 hearts, I think, so that was pretty nice too. Yeah, 7 was just 7 and 2 ridiculous combat. Plus, they were both over by 9 too. And then right before I went to 9, I was like, I got the recorder. I didn't check a lot of the overworld, so I was like, let's go to 5 quick and see if we can pull a bow out of there. And no, it was just a boomerang, but at least it was a very quick check.
Yep. You 2 spent the same amount of time in level 5, and CaffyJD is about to fight Ganon as we speak. It is going to take 7 to 8 hits with magical wand to take down this Ganon. He's at 3 hits right now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Caffy takes down Ganon, and we have Bacon and the Triforce of Power.
Bacon achieved. So now it'll just be a matter of time before Caffy's able to finish up. EMS, what we have you here, in terms of, you've ran 4 seeds with this flag set in the ABNS tournament. I take it this is going to be one of your favorites so far?
Yeah, this has been one of the better ones for me. My race against King Doll went fairly similarly, only I think he got the wand like a half hour after me, so he still only finished like 10 minutes after me. But yeah, man, these races, my actual tournament races have been better than all my practice seeds. Seem to be absolute garbage for whatever reason. Every time I had one that was like an hour 50 earlier.
Caffy already found Zelda.
Wow, impressive. He did not need the compass to do that, so he is going to finish. Everybody get your GGs out in chat for CaffyJD. Let's see. Do we have the official race time? It's 1:14 and change.
So I hope you guys weren't hoping for the map in 9, because apparently Zelda was holding the map for you. The map to her heart.
She needed some reading material while she was waiting the hour 10 for EMS to get there. As we now have, I believe, CaffyJD in chat. GG, sir. Well-run race.
Thank you. GG, Steel.
Yeah, GG, man.
Your overall thoughts on this seed, Caffy? What'd you think?
It felt really long, despite finding Red Candle and Wand kind of early. everything seems to be pretty spread out. Had a few unfortunate, I think 2 unfortunate deaths in dungeons, which slowed me down, and then a few eppies in 9, which also slowed me down. Made the gamble on 8 and didn't work out.
Well, just so you know, you weren't the only one. eatmysteel also did the same thing. So, in retrospect, you were just like about 5 minutes off each time when you were in just like 5 minutes behind eatmysteel the entire time. The only period where you might have been able to catch up was when you and eatmysteel transitioned between 4 and 6. Because while you were in 4, eatmysteel was in 6. And while eatmysteel was in 6, you were in 4. Other than that, you pretty much did the exact same thing.
Yeah, the seed wasn't giving you very much to begin with, especially with open caves. You had to do a lot of exploration to find those dungeons.
Yeah, early on, you find 2, can't do anything in 2. You find 7, can't do anything in 7. Small secret is a buck. And then the seed opens up once you start finding some dungeons you can do some damage in and get some items. And once you both got bow roughly and red candle roughly around the same time as each other, you guys were off and running.
Yeah. Again, just felt really slow the whole time, which is not a good feeling. But if I had the chance to do it again, I would probably do everything the same.
It always feels really slow when you full clear the whole dang thing.
Yeah, it's bad. Had a lot of bombs though. That was nice.
Yeah, I bought both upgrades too. That was pretty sweet.
So the time difference makes total sense. If I was 5 minutes behind it, it stayed true all the way to the end.
Yeah, I was about 15 minutes to the wand. Where were you to the wand?
Oh, I didn't. I closed my tracker probably. Well, I didn't say I didn't feel that far. But maybe it was around 20.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You both did a really good job in a seed where you had 2 overworld items that were required. The power bracelet was required to get into 8, and the recorder was required to get the Triforce out of 6. It was required in 2 places actually. So, a seed that could have thrown you a lot of curveballs. You handled those curveballs both really well and finished with really good times in a seed that pretty much made you do everything that was on the menu.
Yeah, and good overworld exploration too. I think where I lost the time, whereas I think after doing Deadwoods, getting my candle and stuff, I wrapped around to Forgotten Spot and then did Candle Row down. I could have up 8 and done the coast there. That's probably where I lost a good chunk of time.
Yeah, I think Steel did South Coast a little earlier than you did and got into 1 slightly earlier. Might not have been a huge difference in time, but that was a slight difference in your routing between the 2 of you. Otherwise, you both really routed in terms of dungeon order and prioritizing end game items. Really routed pretty similarly.
Yeah, and I nearly full dug the 8 looking for that second item. I nearly did it, and then I saw that whole southern chunk after I got the map. I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I was just looking at my tracker. I think I got about 23 rooms on the overworld that I didn't check, which is probably some kind of a record for me. That was pretty good.
Well, good work by both of you in a challenging seed, and thank you both for putting on a really entertaining race. Last race of week 4. So what are you both looking forward to in week 5?
Winner go home, man. Winner go home.
Yeah, try not to get knocked out. That's it.
Fair enough. And the reveal for the matchups for Week 5, I believe, is happening tomorrow night. So for those of you who are interested, please feel free to tune into that. That'll be on the Z1 Randomizer channel. Before we hang it up for this late night, any final thoughts from either of the runners?
Hey, thanks guys for doing the comms and tracking and the restream and all that good stuff. You guys make all this possible, so big thanks.
Yeah, ditto what Steel said. And it's always fun racing you, by the way. We have a lot of experience racing against each other, and it's always fun.
Oh yeah, we got the late crew, baby.
All right. Well, great job by both of you. We're looking forward to seeing you both in your Week 5 matchups. Have a great evening, and thanks for putting on a good show for us.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Nice. All right, Vincent, any final thoughts on your end before we put a bow on an entertaining race here at the end of Friday night?
Pretty much, thank you, SpeedGaming, for hosting us. Thank you, Barbecue, for commentating with me. Thank you, Camion, for doing an awesome job tracking for us throughout this entire thing. And thank you, runners, for putting up a nice show. Look forward to taking you all on. And that's all I got.
All right. Well, you've had a
my
long.
name is Vincent_246.
Yeah. Give Vincent, give our runners a follow, as well as Vincent, Vincent_246. Vincent, great job, great working with you on the communications for this race. Look forward to doing it again sometime. You've had a long day. You've had a busy day. Get some rest.
I am going to need it.
Fair enough, and we're looking forward to seeing you in your Week 5 matchup as well. So thanks for doing comms with me, and we'll talk soon.
Yep.
All right, on behalf of our entire crew here at SpeedGaming 4, on behalf of Vincent and our tracker, Camion Renakai, and all the folks behind the scenes who make this tournament happen and this channel happen, thank you all for sticking with us and watching this evening. The reveal show for, as I said, for the Week 5 matchups will be happening tomorrow night on the Z1 Randomizer channel, so please stay tuned for that. And then afterwards, we'll have a full slate of matches. In a lot of cases, winner-go-home matches to get into the bracket stages for Week 5. So a lot of great Z1 Randomizer content coming your way. I am barbecue.gov. Thank you very much for staying up late with us, and I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you again next time.